And good afternoon. It's June 11th, 2017. Alex Ansary here. Also, the one-year anniversary since I moved into this particular area in rural Colorado, as more and more unrest begins to occur around the planet. I'm going to talk about relationships. They are complicated, especially in today's day and age, but especially when you add in the politics of skin color. Now, I want to say that a lot of the race baiting going on, whether it be against Muslims or against white people, it's coming from an evil place. But it doesn't matter what your ethnicity is. Only a minority of the population realizes what's going on. And how, I don't want to use the word conspiracy, but this is the deception that the people of the world should be looking at. They've been programmed to turn their nose up, right? At the idea or the notion that there's something going on. There's something going on, like that old beat from the 80s. And there is something going on. And it's warped human sexuality. So I'm going to talk about some things. And there are men and women that are silent about how women that have been bringing in less than what's perceived to be pure white or Aryan, right? They're a target. They are bullied on social media. The woman of Europe that is with a less than purely white male. Oh yes, contributing to white genocide. And I see a society out there with its disingenuous activists that'll get behind certain causes for their own agenda. And they throw around this word Islamophobia without realizing there are people that are called white genocide that aren't Muslims, that are simply mixed with different ethnicities. There's a certain amount of curiosity that women have sexually when it comes to men from different places. That's natural. Then when you have, though, other influences over female sexuality like peer pressure and social acceptance. Now, when certain men are demonized, now when women are demonized if they have a baby that is considered not white, it adds a whole new element to what was natural. And then there's ways in which the media works to make aspects of white America angry. They'll feature a white female and a black male, and they'll become enraged. And I don't think people really understand that that is the purpose, to make them enraged. Again, people have this knee-jerk reaction. They don't want to be seen as a conspiracy theorist. Oh no, those people are bad. And I want to make this point again. The left has failed miserably over the course of the last decade, longer than that, since 9/11, as well as CNN, to show America another aspect of Islamic culture or Middle Eastern culture. In other words, the ways that most of these immigrants have been living within the United States. They've played up the Islamic terror. They have attacked people that have called certain things a false flag. That's messed up. That's really messed up. And so this is to blame, not mental illness per se. These people are programmed to think that most Muslims are here in the U.S. to promote a certain version of Islamic law, and that they hate Americans because of their freedoms, because they put that out there after 9/11, before all this false Islamic Sharia invasion stuff. So we have an issue with ethnicity and race being confused, and people describing Muslims in general, which pretty much discounts everybody else. And because it discounts everybody else, it's not really addressing the plight of the minority, someone that could be seen as non-white. And what's interesting, because, I've been giving this a lot of thought about the uniqueness of our biology. It's interesting how I'm so different than my father, but aspects of his appearance I have inherited. Not all aspects of it. I'm certainly far more athletic, and I think there's obviously some good genetics that I have on both sides. And what I represent is the opposite of someone or something that is quote unquote inbred. So I would say to you that we have a demonization of people that are of multiple ethnicities, aka white genocide, but we also are a culture that will also turn its nose up at those that are perceived to be inbred. So it seems that there's just a lot of hatred in general, but I don't see something wrong with, in general, being what I am of different things. And even though there are people out there that say, stand against the hate, stand against the right, they're guilty of their own tribalism. And it's not racism that I'm alleging that they are guilty of. I continue to make these videos because I want people to fully understand what I'm saying. Because I think some do, but not enough do. I think that as mammalians, as humans, there's a certain amount of programming, and a more conscious being can they can override unconscious biological programming. But I believe that, and I'm not saying that this is limited to white people, I believe that it's in our DNA, and you can override that illusion of separation. But when people come across other people and it seems like they're a non-tribal member, someone could be putting off even something in their aura, like myself, for example. And it could be something about them spiritually, not ethnically. So the person judging them may think they're judging them based on their ethnicity. It really could be the fact they have a big spirit, and their big spirit is intimidating the demons around them. And I think that that's been part of my experience as well. You know, you walk into a bar, you walk into a certain place, they haven't even looked at you yet, but already they're turning around going, who just walked in? They felt the presence. They felt it. And that sense, from my experience in walking in Portland Park, supposedly a progressive city, when women walked by and they showed fear, I would use my intuitive side to really analyze, because it hurt, why were they fearing me? And it's difficult to be different, but, you know, it wasn't necessarily like an evil thing. Whatever presence they felt, or the sense, or even the look in my eyes. I look at myself in the mirror, which is why I try to wear sunglasses more now when I'm around people. It's like the Cyclops experience, like I'm an X-Men mutant. It's intense. My energy can be intense, but it's not like that's something that's wrong with me. I'm vibrating at a certain frequency, and that's just the way it is. And so it could be argued that I have segregated myself from regular society voluntarily. I don't think that's even something that my critics and even white supremacists are taking into account, that I've segregated myself from society after society showed me, whether it wanted to admit that or not, that its tribalistic leanings ultimately in the end would see me as an outsider. It could be pheromones, a scent, something that we put out, like as animals. It could be some sort of a defense mechanism, you know, where fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell a non-tribal member, and all heads can turn, and they can act like they're all loving and conscious, and they all got their flower dresses, but that one person who has the blood of the Ansary, or the Afghani, or the whatever, is the one dude that stands out to them as too different for them to consider someone that they can trust. It's really compounded and combined with the two other elements. The things that I speak of, my beliefs. Okay, I can make someone a black sheep as well. And the third, because there's really three components to this wheel. It's my spirit, it's my soul. It's what I'm vibrating at. That's where that vibration comes from. And that's what isolates me from the Ansary family and other people of Middle Eastern descent. The things that I speak of, my perceptions on the Creator, right? And other things, I am too different. Some people have asked, well, Alex, why don't you get a Middle Eastern girlfriend? Well, because Islamic culture is fairly dominant. Muslims don't marry non-Muslims. And despite how Muslims are being demonized and a lot of propaganda is being put out there, yeah, I can pretty much tell you that Muslim women are not promiscuous with even other Middle Eastern men. That's not my experience. So, to be a Middle Eastern man and to be asked about your ethnicity in today's day and age is an experience that you will only know about unless it happens to you, or unless the ethnicity that you are is not only super targeted, but one in which you don't have your own collective or group. If you are white, Hispanic, Asian, or black, you have a group, or Muslim. And I mean that as a religion. So if you are a member of the religion of Islam and you are Middle Eastern, you have a community you can fall back on, and thus there may be partners for you that are in that box or world. If you're white, black, Hispanic, same thing goes, right? There's something about this experience that's obviously for me and me alone. I had to use the combination of genetics to access deeper levels of information. It's not here to procreate another baby or child, at least not now. And perhaps by not doing that, I could assist myself in freeing myself from this matrix. I think there's a reason why some people don't have kids. So my interest, just in case you were curious, and the reason I'm bringing this up isn't because I necessarily have an interest in expanding the Ansary footprint upon the earth. I'm more interested in what's going on up there. But to kind of close here, I believe I have this lifetime to really learn myself about the illusions of separation. Yeah, I see myself protected, but ultimately I'm in exile. I'm segregated from your society simply because of the blood inside me, and nothing's going to change that. No amount of thumb downs are going to change that. No amount of thumb ups is going to change that. People prefer to be with their own kind unless the media is engaged in a propaganda campaign to socially engineer things in a certain way. And again, they do it with the white woman, the black male, and other groups. My experience is a little bit different. People say that the women are going Muslim, and I cry foul on a lot of these allegations of what women want. I've had my own experience in understanding and schooling with what women want. Then there's no denying what they don't want, what they don't respect, what they're not attracted to. That part's already been shown. We don't really need to dig up the dirt that's been brushed under the carpet. Let's just leave it there for now and kind of keep moving forward if we can. Thank you. We can return to that. But, yeah, these videos are definitely here for the next generation.